Episode 149.
What kind of talk is that, Nephew Han? Do you think I, Lei Wanhei, am the kind of person who covets the possessions of a junior? If you need something, just say it. I'll have it fetched for you immediately, and we'll make a fair trade. I won't let my junior apprentice nephew get the short end of the stick.
Are you looking to trade for a top-tier magic tool, or perhaps a pill that would be useful right now?
Han Li was overjoyed to hear this bold claim. He'd gone through all that trouble just to hear those words.
To be honest, Uncle Lei, I've always been very interested in the art of pill refining. But the Moondew Hall's archives have hardly any practical pill formulas at all. I only found out later that the alchemy methods passed down from ancient times have almost all been lost. The alchemy methods used by our fellow disciples and elders now are either the result of decades of painstaking research by their families, or were occasionally found in ancient ruins. Each one is a priceless treasure, never shown to others lightly. So, I simply wish to use these 2 spirit herbs to exchange for a pill formula suitable for my own use.
A pill formula?
The fat man's previously beaming expression instantly froze.
I understand these pill formulas are treasures to my senior brothers and uncles, as precious as life itself. So I'm not being picky. I only ask for one that can slightly boost my cultivation speed during the foundation establishment stage. I won't be choosy at all.
Ever since Han Li learned the true value of pill formulas in the cultivation world from a certain old man, he had been scheming to collect a few for his own use. After all, with his secret method for accelerating the growth of medicinal herbs, how could he not exploit that advantage to the fullest? However, all the slightly better pill formulas are firmly in the hands of core formation cultivators. Even foundation establishment disciples who had a pill recipe or two could only concoct some utterly insignificant pills. So, his original plan had been to target his master, Li Huaiyuan. But now, having met this Uncle Lei, Han Li immediately switched his target. After all, no matter how you looked at it, this Uncle Lei seemed far more likely to take the bait than his own master. Han Li couldn't help but feel that Li Huaiyuan was being rather stingy with his nominal disciple. And because of their master-disciple relationship, it was all the more tricky and troublesome to deal with. He could very well use the same tactic on Li Huaiyuan today. All he'd need to do is casually exaggerate a bit. A commendable display of filial piety. After that, he could rightfully take possession of the 2 spirit herbs. Han Li had to put on a look of tearful gratitude, as if thanking his master for the lesson. Now that he'd finally encountered another core formation cultivator, he naturally had to seize this rare opportunity.
Wanting to trade for a pill formula. That is indeed a troublesome matter.
Lei Wanhei's expression finally softened, as if he'd thought of something, but his brow remained deeply furrowed, his demeanor unsettled. Seeing this, Han Li wasn't disappointed in the least. In fact, his heart shouted that this was definitely a good sign. Otherwise, this Uncle Lei wouldn't be wearing such an expression.
Any pill formula that's useful to this disciple will do. I won't make things too difficult for you, Uncle.
Han Li promptly lowered his expectations another notch.
Nephew Han, I do have some excellent pill formulas here. However, these are secret recipes passed down exclusively within my family lineage. I truly cannot bring them out for an exchange.
Lei Wanhei shook his head once more. Han Li's disappointment was plain on his face, and the fat man took it all in.
While I can't share my clan's pill formulas, I do have a few ancient recipes in my possession. Some of these I found in ancient ruins. Others I traded for with friends. I have no problem using them for our exchange.
In that case, I sincerely thank you, Uncle.
Hold on. Let me finish what I have to say first. You can thank me later. Since we're making an exchange, there are a few things I, as your senior uncle, must clarify first.
Please speak plainly, Master Uncle. I will listen carefully to your instruction.
Forget about guidance or teachings. I just want to lay things out plainly first, so you don't come to regret it later. The pills refined according to these ancient formulas are indeed genuine, top-grade spirit pills. The real issue is that the ingredients for these recipes are far too difficult to find nowadays. I truly don't know if you'll be able to gather them all. Of course, these ingredients are merely difficult to find. They absolutely still exist in this world. They're not like some other ancient formulas, whose components have been extinct for years. In truth, most of the newly developed pill formulas these days are just things that have been retested by endlessly searching for substitute ingredients in the original ancient formulas. So, while we found new ingredients for pill refining, their efficacy has also taken a significant hit. It's a rather frustrating reality of the cultivation world.
The fat man's words left Han Li a bit dumbfounded, but he still managed to grasp the gist of what the other was saying.
What does the elder mean? It's simple. Once you have the pill formula, if you truly can't gather all the ingredients, you can try substituting some of them. There's a chance it might still work.
This martial uncle probably felt guilty about giving me a pill formula that's so hard to gather ingredients for, so he gave me a heads up in advance. It seems this Uncle Lei isn't such a bad sort after all.
On the surface, however, he maintained a picture of perfect obedience, readily agreeing and swearing he wouldn't go back on the deal once the pill formula was exchanged. Seeing this, Lei Wanhei was pleased, but he still felt he was taking far too much advantage of his junior apprentice nephew, and a pang of guilt struck him. So, after a moment's thought, he came up with a new proposal.
All right, you have 2 spirit herbs. Let's trade 1 herb for 1 formula each. I can't let my junior apprentice take too much of a loss, can I?
Han Li was taken aback for a moment, then, surprise, a wave of wild joy surged through him. His opinion of this Uncle Lei shot up dramatically. He thanked Lei Wanhe profusely, and this time, Han Li's words were completely sincere.
All right, here's the pill formula catalog. Pick 2. It lists the effects of each pill and the required ingredients. Once you've chosen, I'll copy the true formulas for you.
With that, the fat man pulled out a jade slip and tossed it to Han Li, who accepted it with eager hands.
When did this martial uncle make this catalog?
But the thought was gone in an instant. Han Li took the jade slip and began carefully searching for a suitable pill formula.
I'll take the spirit gathering pill and the chi refining powder.
Han Li withdrew his focus from the jade slip and told the fat man, the spirit gathering pill and the chi refining powder.
Without a word, the fat man immediately fished out 2 more jade slips from his storage pouch and tossed them over.
All right, it's getting late. I should be heading back.
The chubby fellow gleefully gathered the spirit herbs from the table and immediately made his excuses to leave. He had all the ingredients he needed now and was in a hurry to get back and refine his own spirit augmentation pills. Han Li heard this and rose to see him out. But as he saw his guest to the mouth of the cave, Han Li suddenly remembered something. He promptly asked the man about the whereabouts of his current master, Li Huaiyuan, and the location of his master's cave abode. The fat man was astonished to hear that Han Li was actually a nominal disciple of Li Huaiyuan. After giving him the location, the man summoned a flash of silver light and flew off. Han Li watched Lei Wanhei vanish completely from the sky. Only then, a pleased expression on his face, did he pull out all the jade slips containing the pill formulas. He toyed with them for a while longer. After a good long while, he finally turned to head back into the cave abode. But Han Li had only taken 2 steps when something near the cave entrance caught his attention. A glance revealed it was the corpse of senior brother Lin, lying there in the exact pose he'd been thrown in by the fat man. Han Li paused for a moment, then walked over without hesitation. He reached the corpse and began to search it. He remembered clearly that Uncle Lei hadn't touched a single thing on the corpse. He wondered if the man had been too embarrassed to do so in front of a junior, or if he simply couldn't be bothered with a mere Foundation establishment disciple's belongings. Sure enough, Han Li found a storage pouch tucked inside the corpse's robes. This brought a wide grin to his face. After all, he was very interested in those puppets, and he figured the pouch should be stuffed full of them. But when Han Li checked the contents of the storage pouch, his smile gradually faded. There wasn't a single puppet inside. Aside from a few spirit stones and 2 ordinary pills, there was only an unremarkable jade slip. Han Li's fervor was instantly extinguished.
He was clearly controlling so many puppets that day, so how come not a single one is left now? Could they all have been destroyed?
Han Li's guess was pretty close to the mark. That day, senior brother Lin had initially been able to hold his own against his opponents thanks to the sheer number of puppets he could control. But then, the 1,000 bamboo sex quadruplets finished off the 2 fleeing cultivators and they rushed over to reinforce him. Seeing the situation turn dire, senior brother Lin detonated all his puppets. Taking advantage of the ensuing chaos, he managed to break through the encirclement. That's why there truly wasn't a single mechanical puppet left in his storage pouch. Disappointed, Han Li casually tossed the jade slip out. He then, as a matter of routine, sent his consciousness into it, expecting to give it only a cursory glance. But his eyes suddenly flew wide open, and the lazy expression on his face instantly froze solid. The moment his spiritual sense entered the jade slip, 3 golden characters floated into view. The Great Development Art. The Great Development Art. The very technique Han Li had heard mentioned so many times today, the one senior brother Lin had used to bait him, was just lying there, found with a casual flip. It gave Han Li a bizarre, almost surreal feeling.
I really can't tell if this senior brother Lin is incredibly foolish or incredibly clever.
He skimmed through the Great Development mantra recorded in the jade slip. Just as senior brother Lin had said, it only contained the incantations for the first 4 layers. It seemed the man hadn't lied to him about that, at least. But then, something even more astonishing happened to Han Li. After he finished reading the Great Development Art, a scripture titled Puppet True Explanation immediately followed. It was filled entirely with methods for crafting puppet beasts and puppet men of various ranks, a comprehensive and incredibly detailed manual on puppet making. Han Li studied it for a long while, finally withdrawing his consciousness with a look of pure elation. But then he looked at the jade slip in his hand, and a strange expression suddenly crossed his face.
The Great Development Mantra and the Puppet True Solution, they're a perfect match. If you cultivate them both, it's like they were made for each other. Once you reach a certain level with both, you could probably do just what Huang Long did that day, use a horde of puppets to completely overwhelm several cultivators of the same rank, leaving them without a single chance to fight back. A technique that can overpower other Foundation establishment cultivators. It's truly tempting. But the flaw in cultivating them is that it could very well delay one's own core cultivation, completely snuffing out the already slim chance of forming a golden core. That would be a losing proposition. As for the Great Development Art increasing the chance of forming a golden core, I don't believe a word of that baseless nonsense.
Han Li lowered his head and pondered for a moment, finding it difficult to make a choice. With a shake of his head, he first placed the jade slip into his storage pouch, intending to deal with it later.